I'm going to share with you a Google extension called Read and Write that will allow our students to independently have web pages read to them and also have their writing in Google Docs read back to them. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to open up Google Chrome, and you'll see that the browser will open. And I'm going to open my screen. I'm signed in to Google. I'm going to go over to the upper right hand corner where these bars are, and you will see that you can go to the tools, over to extensions, and this is where you're going to find your Google Chrome extensions that will give your students greater accessibility so they can do the same things that all the kids are doing in the classroom, even with a disability. You can see that I have already installed Google Read and Write, and when I backspace to Google, this icon right here tells me that I am on a web page that allows Google Read and Write to work. So say you're in the classroom and you want to write a poem with your child or your student that you're working with. So you're going to open up the Drive, go over to Drive and create a document. Title the document, and we can call it, let's see here, Susan's
Untitled Document.
You can see that it started reading that because I hit play by accident. Susan's poem about summer. And click OK. And here we go, we have a new document. Summer is warm and hot. Summer is the only thing I want. Okay, we're going to call that done. Now, if you want this read back to the student to see if it sounds right, you click on the beginning of the document, go up here to the toolbar for Read and Write, and you hit play.
Summer. Summer is warm and hot. Summer is the only thing I want.
You can see, okay, that sounds good. That's what we're going to use. Now say your student types a sentence and it just does not make sense, and you want them to hear it to see how they could rephrase it. So I'm going to think of a sentence that says, hi there, my brother and me are going to the store. And you want to do a little on-the-spot teaching for saying it will be my brother and I are going to the store. So you have the student go back to the beginning of the sentence, go up and hit play.
Hi there, my brother and me are going to the store.
And this is where you can do the teachable moment of, if you break it up into two sentences, you can say that my brother is going to the store, I am going to the store. So you would have to switch the me to the I, and then you can have them play it again.
Hi there, my brother and I are going to the store.
Okay, so Google Read and Write allows you to go into Google Docs and will have their writing read back to the students so they can hear how their writing sounds. And this is something that they could do when no other peer editors are available. and you don't want them sitting around and doing nothing. So you say, you know, let Google Read and Write read your writing to you and see how it sounds. Another way that you can use Google Read and Write is by going to a web page. So I'll open up a new web page, and say your student's going to do a report on a writing to inform on, or a project on composting, because we do that in 6th grade. So we're going to search for composting. And here's how to make compost at home. So here we have a website all about how to make compost at home. And the website that we're on right now has this little icon in it. So it tells you that's a web page that supports Google Read and Write. So I'm going to click on it, and the toolbar will open up, and I'm going to highlight the first section and go press play.
Compost is the single most important supplement you can give your garden soil. Composting is a simple way to add nutrient-rich humus which fuels plant growth and restores vitality to depleted soil. It's also free, easy to make, and good for the environment.
Okay.
It's
So,
also free, easy to
press
make.
stop. Okay, so now you can have your student, our students, go to web pages, and if they are having trouble reading them, Google Read and Write will read them to the students. Another step that you can do is to take Google Read and Write and use you can cut and paste from the web page over to a Google document. So if I go back to a Google document and I create Susan's notes on composting. Okay, I want to rename that. So I'm going to call it
Untitled document.
Susan's notes on composting. So now I can go back to my composting page, and I can Control C to copy it. I can go back over to my notes. I can Control V to paste it, and it will read it to me in here.
Compost is the single most important supplement you can give your garden soil.
Okay, so now
Composting is a simple
you
way
can
to add
have them
nutrient-rich.
stop it once it's read to them, and then they could come down here in their notes and say we now make it blue, and they can put these notes into their own words. And you can say that composting is important to have good soil. And now the student has taken notes on what they have read about. This is one way that we can provide independence to students who may have a learning disability, which makes reading and writing a little more difficult for them. This will allow them to be a bit more independent.